All right, I'm back again. We're working on the 8th grade mathematics test for 2017, and I'm going to work on category 2 next. Here we go. All right, question 1 asks about proportional, non-proportional lines looking at different graphs. So what do you know about proportional and non-proportional? Well, I can underline non-proportional for you. I can tell you that it's the opposite of proportional. That's a good one. Now, you should have remembered some 7th grade information you learned from last year. I mean, wasn't that a long time ago? You know, when I wrote y equals mx plus b, is that proportional or non-proportional? What about y equals kx? There's an old formula. How do those work together? Now, I can help you with those, and it's kind of a quick lesson, but here we go. If I put plus 0 here, and I put plus 0 here, they're the same. So y equals mx plus 0 is the same as y equals kx plus 0. So then the better question is, why do we need two formulas? That I do not know. My guess is kx represents plus 0, where b represents multiple numbers, 0 included, but it could be any number. Kx can only have plus 0. So then the next question, what's the k stand for? What's the m stand for? Where'd you get the b from? Now, in my video links, if you go to one of my folders, I think it's rational numbers, there's a video down there called Rated the Math Cap. I did not produce it. I take no credit, but it's a wonderful video. If you'd watch that video, you'd find Rated the Math Cap. Now, when I show Rated the Math Cap class, my children recognize M for meow, because Rated the Math Cat is a cat, obviously. So that's M for meow, and meow for purr, and purr for each. And constant rate of change, and direct variation, there's a whole bunch of them. That K, that's the same as M. And eventually my kids will get to M as the cost of 1. So if you want the short version, cost of one item. It's what it costs to buy one. And that's always important if you're buying something. And what is K? Same thing. The cost, I guess they can't spell, of one. Now that's a nice little lesson. That's an important one. Now let's look at these graphs. It's still talking about non-proportional. So far we haven't gotten there. Now if you look at all these graphs, I can tell you, you can only pick one. That one goes through 0, but it's going to the left. This one goes through 0, it's going more left. This one doesn't go through 0, but it's going right. This one's going through 0, and it's going right. They all three had something in common, crossing 0. This one's wrong. And here's why. Proportional is perfect. As in bought none, cost none. Oops, that's off screen. Again, proportional is perfect. Bought none, cost none. So if you didn't buy any, it doesn't cost anything. Bought none, cost none. And I wish everything was like that, like my, phone bill. If I don't use it as much, maybe it'd be cheaper. Nope, unfortunately. So the answer is choice B. If you look at A, crosses 0. Bought none, cost none. Look at C, bought none, cost none. Perfect. Look at D. But it's perfect. Bought none, cost none. Look at B. Well, that one stinks. Because he didn't buy a darn thing and it cost me $1 to go look. Window shopping is very expensive there. Don't go. B is non-proportional. It's not very nice. Definitely not. Next question. I'm on question 4 on that 2018 test. It says a water hose discharges water at 45 gallons per, Rated the Math Cat, minutes. Which graph has a slope of this representation? Now, you can do this multiple ways. I try to do it the simplest and the most check marks, and definitely most check marks. If that's 45 gallons per minute, so that's 45 gallons for 1 minute. What would 2 minutes look like? Yeah, times 2, 90. And you know what? I'm done. Now, I need to make me a table, and there's a perfect place for a table. Yep, you got it. Right in the middle. Right in the middle. Let me get that back on screen. Which one's X? Now, I can tell you this one's X and this one's Y, but if you look at the graph, I don't know. Well, if you look at the graph and read, here's X, and these are minutes. So it looks like to me, the 1 and the 2 go over here. If you put these things in backwards, they call that wrong. 45 goes here, the 90 goes here. Now I'm going to create a list and then do Linreg list 1, list 2, y1. If you have no idea what that means, you need to go watch that video that says calculator hints or Linreg or something. I've got it in that folder. I'll go slowly, but not real slow. Here we go. Calculator. Turn it on. There's crazy stuff. How about clear it? Second plus 7, 1, 2. It's cleared. It's perfect. Done. Now go to stat. That's statistics. The reason you push edit is because you're not making the tables. They're already built. You just got to put the stuff in it. And I believe our data was 1, 2, and then 45, 90. And so I want to put that in. 1, 2. And yeah, no. And if you notice, I had it in mode float 2. Well, it deleted it, but that's okay. 45, 90. And before you walk away, you might want to make sure you typed it in right. 1 and 2 is right here. This is X. This one's Y. List 1, list 2. And again, how to get the 90? Times 2, I doubled it. Now, next, I'm going to go back to stat. I've already done the edit. We should probably calculate. 4 is Linreg. Push the 4 button. And what is Linreg? Linreg is a fabulous button. It does linear for you. And then I'm going to do second 1, which is list 1, comma. Second 2, which is list 2, comma. And then I'm going to go to vars, which is variables. Go to y-vars, which is the y variables. It's a function, it better be. And there's your y equals. And push y1. So, Linreg, list 1, list 2, y1. Important, very popular kind of question on these tests. Push the enter button and I hope it don't say error. Woohoo! That's really nice. Now, this is a nice, we can do Linreg, but the list 1, list 2, y1 is such a nice feature because when I push the y equals button, it's already typed for me. And I didn't type it in wrong. And if I put the graph button, yeah, that looks kind of goofy. Now, but what's my windows? -10? Yeah, that tells you a lot. Don't you think? So, how do you make this graph look like the one on the paper? Well, we could cheat. Why don't we use their numbers? They have them. They're going to 10. That's the x. So I think I've got it -10, 10. I can make that -2. Because I like to see that x and y value. And they're counting by 1, so I'll leave it at 1. Now my y's, if you notice, they're going up to like 150. I think we need to change that to 150. And the negative, I think I'll just leave that at -2. And then 150. And it looks like to me they're counting by 15s. Yeah, 15 plus 15 is 30. So let's check. Your minimum on your x is -2. And that'll work, because I don't have a quadrant. I only have quadrant 1. And then I got the most going to 10, and that'll work. It's counting by 1, sure, whatever. I got -2, so I can see the crosshairs of my x and y line. I got it to go into 150, and I think that works for all of them. It does. And I'm counting by 15s, because that's what I figured out. 30 minus 15 is 15. So let's see what the graph looks like. Well, there you go. Now, it's hard to kind of match these, because, well, they all look the same. That one looks like that. Yeah, right. No way. The only flat line we have is the heart attack I had when I saw that. Yeah. Well, no. This one kind of looks like this one, this first one. I'm not exact, but it looks pretty good. But hey, that one ain't bad either. I don't know. And this one seems kind of wrong, but I definitely H is wrong, for sure. So how do you tell? I don't know. Now, if you would go to second graph, you'll find a table. Start matching some ordered pair. Looks like to me 1 should be 45. That's what it says. So here's 1. Go up to 45 and put a dot. All right. Let's go to the next one. Go up to 1 and put a dot at 45. I don't think they're all 45. Yeah, right. That's terrible. Find the 1, go up to 45, and put a dot. Is that dot on your line? Well, then it's probably wrong. Let's go over here. Go to the 1, go up to the 45, and put a dot. Right there. It's not on the line. Now, if you're not sure, you could go do 2 and 90. Here's 2. That's 120. Nope. I kind of like F, like we were guessing in the beginning. And again, you can test the rest. 290. There's 2. 90. They're there. All right, let's go on to the next one. Question 6. The table shows gasoline, gallons, cars, whatever. And then it says, go get the slope and go get that y-intercept. And let me get that back on the screen. Those are like my favorite. Would I do that by hand? No, I'd use my handy-dandy calculator. See this thing? It's called a list. And see that x and that y? We can also call it list 1 and list 2. So you need to go back to your handy-dandy calculator. I know we've got stuff in there, so I'm going to do second plus, no I'm not. Let's get out. Let's go back to the regular screen. So I'm going to go to stat, push edit, and I got all this stuff in there. Well, you can hit the delete button a couple of times and they'll eventually get it. You can hit the clear button and that kind of works. You could do, go up here, go to list 1, hit clear and push enter. And it works. But if you go up there and push delete, that works too because you just deleted list 1. So don't do that. If you do that by chance, I'll share. So let's say I hit delete. Yeah, it did. I worked it. It's gone. Go back to stat. Do you see that number 5 setup editor? Push the 5 button, push the enter button, and you just got them back. Now let's go look again. They're back. That's good. All right, anyway. So clear is the word you want, not delete. Delete really does mean delete. So you need to start typing. 0, 10, 20, 35, 60, 75. Is that in the right column? Man, that's a bummer. Clear. Yep, fix it. Try again. 0, 10, 20, 35, 60, 75. 10, 20, 35, 60, 75. Move on over. 15, 14, 6, 14, 2, 13, 6, 12, 6, 12. And I would probably check my data before I leave. It's a lot of trouble to do all the work and find out you typed it in wrong. Or it's in the wrong column. That hurts too. 15, 14, 6, 14, 2, 13, 6, 12. And for those of you that should be wearing glasses and you're not wearing them because they make you look goofy, well, you look really normal squinting at the screen trying to see me with your eyes almost shut. And if you miss these questions because of these decimals because you didn't see it, you're going to look really goofy in summer school. Wear those glasses. They have a purpose. All right, so we got the list in. Perfect. I'm going to go to stat. And I'm curious, do I have anything over there? I do. I'm going to hit clear. I got my Y1 had stuff in it from time before. I could have probably did second plus 7, 1, 2. Probably should have. Oh well. Go back to stat. My stuff's there. Whew, that's a good thing. Stat, cal, Linreg. And then list 1, comma. List 2, comma. Vars. Y vars. There it is. So Linreg, list 1, list 2, y1. And all that does is create a linear equation, y equals mx plus b. Ta-da! At least it didn't say error. Push the y equals button. There's your equation. Now, m is negative 4 pennies. And the b, your y-intercept, is 15. So y-intercept is 15. I don't think I'd pick f. It says 375. So I'm looking for 15. New, maybe, no, maybe. I need to find a negative, so I can mark that one off. I can mark that one off. That one's negative. That one's negative. That says 4 pennies. That's a fraction, which is less than 1 because it's a regular fraction. And that says $25. It's not $25. Definitely not $25. And if you're not sure, we could go back to the regular screen and type in -1 divided by 25. And there's your 4 pennies. Whoops, that's off screen. To make you feel better. So the answer is that one I was pointing at. The fraction one, that's regular fraction. Not improper. Answer's G. I love those tables. They're my favorite. I'm going to continue this on another video because I only have 15 minutes per video. So we'll catch you at the next one. Part 2. Category 2.